Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today I want to talk about whether Citadel have bought shares in AMC, or whether they sold off some of their position, or why they even had AMC shares in the first place. And I've also got some big updates on new institutional positions, so stay tuned and let's make some money. But guys, before I dive into the video, I just want to give a massive shout out to the 3,900 of you that have currently dinged that notification bell, because you guys are always the first to watch a new video as soon as it's released. Come on guys, we're so close to having 4,000 people with that notification bell dinged. So guys, be sure to drop a like down below, subscribe to the channel and ding that notification bell if you haven't already so that you don't miss another video just like this one. And just a quick one before I dive in with the key information, if you haven't already signed up with Moomoo yet to get your 4 free shares worth up to $3,350, there's a link in the description below so that you can sign up, but be sure to deposit at least $100 to get the most out of those free shares. If not, deposit $5,000 if you can, because then you get all 4 free shares. And now I want to dive straight in with the key information. So, Citadel just bought 136,000 shares of AMC. Can someone explain? He's then showed a screenshot from Fintel that has Citadel advisors owning 136,000 shares of AMC. But Fintel doesn't really give that clearer picture because the data is quite hard to read. So let's have a look at it on Whale Wisdom. As you can see here, Citadel advisors own 136,000 shares in AMC worth around $7.7 million. However, they've actually decreased their position by around 600,000 shares, meaning they've sold off over 3/4 of their total position. Now, there's 2 really good theories as to why they've done this, and the first theory, which is my theory, is that they've been playing both sides of the fence this entire time. Citadel had obviously advertised that they had a huge short position in AMC and therefore obviously wanted the stock to decrease. Yes, they do have a huge short position in AMC, but they also held around 800,000 shares. Therefore, when the stock ran up from $14 all the way to $72, they must have sold 600,000 of their shares around the $72 mark and then rode those put options and that short position all the way back down. However, net, even though Citadel probably sold 600,000 shares for a massive gain, probably buying them around $8 a share, $14 a share, and selling at $72 to $77 a share, they're still massively down on their overall position, considering they hold around 2 billion synthetic shorts, probably priced at around $4 a share, all the way to say $14 to $20 a share, maybe even higher. Overall, the shorts are down $3 billion on their legal short position this year alone. Therefore, when you count in all of those synthetic shares, Citadel are probably down way more than $3 billion. I'd hazard a guess and say it's probably the size of their entire fund, and if they covered their short position now, they would liquidate their entire fund, and that's why they can't cover, and that's why they haven't covered. However, Joshua on Twitter also speculates and says, look at my tweet, Jackson. They and other super high frequency funds sold off to try and drop their institutional ownership back to 20%. From that Bloomberg screenshot I showed you the other day, institutions own around 38% of the AMC float, but us retail apes also own over 80% of the float as well. And 80% or over 80% plus 38%, I'm pretty sure is higher than 100% of the float. Now you may need to check my math on that one, but last time I checked, 80 plus 38 was more than 100. Therefore, that could be why Citadel and a few other funds sold off large portions of their position to make it look like there wasn't over 100% of shares in issue. Something else I wanted to talk about today is the MACD and how the increase in the MACD compares to the increase in the stock's price. Obviously, AMC fell from around $72 all the way to around $30, which is about a 58% drop. It's now only fallen from around $72 to $38 at the time of this screenshot, which is about a 47% drop. Therefore, we've made up about 11% of those previous losses so far. However, if I zoom into that MACD line, we can see that so far there's only been a very tiny recovery in that MACD, and we haven't yet seen an 11% recovery in the overall MACD chart. Therefore, the MACD is indicating that we have much higher to climb before AMC stock enters that overbought territory and climbs higher in that overbought territory. At the moment, the MACD is still showing that we are still very oversold and we haven't even reached a neutral position yet. Therefore, by the time this MACD actually touches the neutral position, we could see the AMC stock having returned to around $72 before it's even entered the overbought territory. We could then see AMC fly up to $100, $200, $300 before it even starts to show that it's been overbought. This is obviously good news and a very, very bullish indicator shown by the MACD. And I also wanted to give you an update on the huge new positions on the 13F filings. We can see here that Charles Schwab have increased their AMC position by around 547,000 shares, bringing their total position to around 4.1 million shares, totaling around $234 million. From this second screenshot, we've seen DE Shaw increase their position by 1.4, nearly 1.5 million shares. Considering they only held, around 50,000 shares beforehand, that is a massive increase, obviously, to around 1.5 million shares, totaling around $84.8 million. In the same screenshot, we've also got Bluefin increasing their position from around 50,000 shares, increasing it by 100,000 shares to get to 150,000 shares, and First Trust Advisors taking out a new position of 617,000 shares, both worth around $9 million and $35 million. Next up, we've got Graham Capital Management taking out a 250,000 share position, and Bank of America taking up an additional 570,000 shares, bringing their position to 1.1, nearly 1.2 million shares, worth around 14 million and 66 million respectively. But again, we're still not done there. Credit Suisse has added 200,000 shares to their position, bringing it to 371,000. Sonic Fund has taken out 200,000 shares, and State Street has bought an additional 1.67 million shares, bringing their total to 8.2 million shares, worth around $465 million. Annoyingly, it's quite hard to get an accurate estimate of what that institutional ownership is. Whale Wisdom has it around 25%, the Nasdaq has it around 26.2%, and Fintel has it around 31.35%. Hopefully somebody will soon post a screenshot from a Bloomberg terminal, because unfortunately I don't have access to that. Also guys, I wanted to give you a quick update on today's data. We've seen an excellent continuation on today's MACD. Obviously the MACD flipped positive on Friday, and we've seen continuation on Monday and Tuesday. We've seen 4 green days, all in quick succession so far. Hopefully we can see this green healthy move continuing upwards throughout the rest of the week. I do obviously expect a pullback, as it's very unusual to have 4 green days in a row, but hopefully I'd like to see us break $40 tomorrow for a 5th green day, before maybe pulling back slightly through the Thursday and the Friday. If I look back in the AMC chart to the last time where we had 4 green days in a row, it was back here in the end of May when we broke through that $14 and $15 resistance points. Therefore, I think having 4 and potentially even 5 green days back to back to back to back is a very, very bullish signal. However, looking at the dark pool, it seems like it's manipulation as usual. Today, dark pool trades reported for AMC have accounted for 67% of today's total volume. Looking at how that breaks down, 66% of volume went through the dark pool, 17% was sweep orders, and 5.9% was block trades. We can see that 46 million shares today have gone through the dark pool so far, out of a total 69 million. So obviously, most. Guys, let me know down in the comments below what you think of these giant new institutional positions, and also what you think about Citadel potentially playing both sides of the fence. I think it's very, very sneaky, but I'm sure they've been doing it all along, and it's not really helped out their deep dug short position. As always guys, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to check out some of my others. Alternatively, subscribe to the channel and ding that notification bell, because that way you'll be alerted when I upload a new video. Cheers!